Yeah, at some point, we also want to start families and
Yeah,
those things. Unfortunately, activism doesn't pay.
exactly.
That's the
Mm,
most unfortunate thing. Then people look up to you and they think, oh, this guy is educated.
mm.
What does he bring forth to the table apart from being an activist?
This is the Rise and Impact podcast, speaking to change makers who are changing the world one community at a time.
Hi there, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Rise and Impact podcast. So today's episode is actually very, very much interesting because we are going to delve into a very important topic of youth productivity and development beyond advocacy and activism. So we actually have this trend of young people
Yes.
where we focus more or we put more, like we have a trend, this trend of us becoming advocate, becoming activist, and
Yes.
then neglecting our lives, like
Mm.
neglecting our when it comes to our work,
Personal,
yeah,
yeah.
business,
Personal, yeah.
personal development, your career choices, your personal relationships and all that. And then sometimes you just find yourself even at the age of 40, and then you realize I
Exactly.
actually haven't achieved anything. I
Yes.
haven't managed to finish my school. I haven't managed to just to do anything of my, and you
Exactly.
become frustrated and all that. So, and then we actually, and I'm so excited to actually have you here because you are
Yeah.
actually somebody who has experience
Yeah.
within like the civil society
Space.
space,
Yeah.
and then as well in your career you are a researcher by
Yes.
profession, a journalist,
Journalist
yeah,
professionally, and then
mm,
by occupation, I'm a
a
researcher.
researcher, yeah.
Yes.
That is the thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, so thank you so much for actually coming. I think I will just give you an opportunity to actually introduce yourself to, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the platform, Elizabeth.
Mm,
I'm so happy that we could do this today,
yeah.
and I'm also very excited. So,
Okay.
firstly,
Mm.
my name is Hiskia. My surname is Nashuuta. I'm 33 years of age. It was just my birthday last week, the 26th of
Really?
March. Yeah,
Oh,
it was my
okay.
birthday. So,
26th of March.
yes.
Okay. Happy late birthday.
Yes, thank you so much. So, I'm originally from Rehoboth, but currently our family home is located in Otapi,
Oh,
in Omasate region. Yes, I'm
okay.
actually mixed. My
Mm.
dad is Oshivamo and my mom is Nama.
I always get confused.
Yeah, yeah. People think I'm plain Damara,
Yeah.
but no, I'm mixed. Hence my
Mm.
surname Nashuta.
Yeah.
So professionally, I studied media studies, but what I did is I specialized in public relations and
Mm.
advertising at the University of Namibia. And plans are still there to pursue my master's next year.
Oh,
Hopefully,
okay.
I'll complete my master's degree also in media studies at UNAM.
Mm.
So those are my goals. So basically, who I am. I'm
Mm.
young, I'm
Mm.
driven, passionate about civil society,
Yeah.
passionate about governance issues, love radio, I love media.
Mm.
So that's me basically in a nutshell.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually interesting. You know, something that I like, ever since I've known you, I didn't know that you actually in like you did journalism and
Yes,
that you were
yes.
a radio presenter as well.
Yes, I
That
was.
was like something that was new to me and very interesting actually.
Yeah.
So like your passion your passion and experience as well actually lies within the civil society like
Yes.
organization,
Yes.
and that's like proof is there.
Yes.
And so could you just share with us a little bit how like what really sparked that passion of you to be involved, or like really influence you to take the career path that you take, that
In
you
civil
took, yeah,
society
in civil
organizations.
society.
So if I have to go down
Yeah.
memory lane, about say 9, 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
when I went to Rehoboth,
Mm-hmm.
I stumbled across a community radio station.
Oh.
It's called Radio Life FM, but it no longer
Mm-hmm.
exists. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I started volunteering at the radio station,
Mm-hmm.
being a community journalist. And after that, there was a program established by the Conrad Adenius Stiftung Foundation.
Yeah.
The program was called Empowering Civil Society Organizations.
Yeah.
And the radio station where I was volunteering at was selected to be part of that specific program by CAS.
Mm-hmm.
So we received a 4 year training
Mm-hmm.
from CAS
Oh.
how to establish a CSO, how to run a CSO, what's needed for an effective CSO, how you can lobby for change in your communities. So that program was really impactful in such a
Mm-hmm.
way. And while attending that program, I realized that No, I think I love this. I love doing community work.
Mm.
I love volunteerism. I love bringing change in communities that I
Yeah.
do. But the only difference back then, when I was working at the radio station, was I was a voice for the community because it was a community radio station. We had to focus on community issues, lack of service delivery
Mm.
from local authority, the town council, etc.
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell, I fell in love with civil society organizations.
Mm.
And fast forward, after completing the training by
Mm.
CAS, we were together at
Yeah.
CASTEP, and I met incredible people like you that are also passionate about, you are passionate about, giving people a platform so that people can tell their stories,
Yeah.
etc., etc. So that's where my love for civil society organizations actually started.
Wow.
Yeah,
And that training, like it's, and I think we, like as a country,
yeah,
we lack that platform where civil society can actually be able to go and kind of like be trained
exactly,
to what to,
exactly.
because I think one thing is that we just, okay, we are passionate, we discovered, okay, I'm passionate about advocating for what
Yes,
I start as a non, or like a non-profit organization
yes,
to actually serve my community.
yes,
We just do one project and then the organization dies
exactly,
because we don't even know like what road to follow, what to do,
exactly.
who to go to ask for advice, or just to kind of give us those things.
Mm. And the common perception that exists in our country is that, people run civil society organizations the way they think should be run.
Yeah.
But we don't understand that civil society organizations, as much as it's a organization for the community, by
Mm.
the community,
Yeah.
it needs to have proper procedures and policies, a proper operational structure in place so that that organization can then succeed.
Mm.
But you know what?
Mm.
CSOs depend on donor funding.
Yeah.
And the donors want to see some sort of structure when you have a CSO.
Yeah.
Do you have an office building? Do you have an organizational structure? Is your CSO registered? All those things play a
Yeah.
very important
Mm.
role. So I think the training did such a brilliant job in equipping people like me, people
Yeah.
like you also through CASTEP
Yeah.
to know how to properly run and how to properly structure CSO.
That's so true. That is like so true because people obviously want to know where they want to trust where their money is
Yes,
going,
yes,
and they want to know how their money or their funds are actually going to be
exactly,
utilized and who is going to benefit and all that.
exactly,
So we
exactly.
just think of like we just want to save the people and
And
everybody,
receive the
yeah, and
money.
receive and everybody must come and support because we are saving the community and all that.
Yeah, yeah, that's the
So yeah,
misconception.
and like for you, you spoke of volunteerism, and it's
Yeah,
really like at the core of your
yeah,
values as well.
indeed.
So how can like young people benefit? Like is volunteerism beneficial for young people, especially in today's world? Like can we gain any skills or anything from it?
Indeed, Elizabeth,
Mm?
volunteerism is extremely important
Mm.
because number one,
Mm.
what you get from volunteerism is you obtain the necessary skills and experience in
Ah.
working in an organization. And I think
Mm.
CSOs are perfect places where young people can actually start volunteering
Yeah.
because they can just take you in, they coach you how to do proper structures and proper things. You learn so much from, for instance, you can learn how to work with people,
Mm.
people's skills. You can learn how to do a basic administrative work, basic financial work, how
Yeah.
to type letters. And especially, I always tell young people
Mm.
that are doing a grade 10 or grade 12 or 11, when it's time for holidays or vacations, go and volunteer at any organization or even get yourself a holiday job.
Yeah.
But importantly, volunteerism is very, very important because it equips you,
Yeah.
for the future. Hey.
That is very true, and I can actually and I lived to for that because when I finished grade 12, I was actually struggling. I
Yes,
didn't manage to go to university,
yes.
so I was like, okay, I found myself in window, and
Mm.
I don't know anyone. I don't have any skills on my name or any
Yeah,
experience,
yeah,
and obviously, and I was told like for you to make it in this life, you need to know people. People
exactly.
must know you to
Yeah,
be able to open doors for you. So I ended up. I think my first volunteerism was like volunteering for a marketing agency,
okay.
communication agency, and I had zero skills. And they were
Yeah,
looking for a social media manager and expert.
yes.
And I wrote them like a letter, like, please just allow me. I can work
Yeah,
without being paid.
you're able to learn.
I just want to gain experience. And I ended up actually volunteering, like just working there without being paid, like for
Wow,
almost a whole year. So what I
serious.
do is that I do people's hair during the weekends and
Hmm.
then get taxi money to actually go there.
Awesome. Your
Yeah.
commitment was there,
So
like top tier. You're
So
really committed,
yeah, and
yeah.
I really like gained a lot, and I met people
Yeah.
through the organization, through that company as well, and all this. So it was really, and as well volunteerism within non-profit organization. That's where I met you guys, and as well know that. So
Hmm.
it's really, really
Really
doesn't.
important.
Mm,
And another key important point, I think sometimes as family members, especially as parents,
yeah.
we don't understand when our kids go and volunteer
Mm,
at different civic organizations.
mm.
Because the first thing is, are you getting paid?
Yeah,
Hoekom werk jy
it's
for mahala and those things,
that's so true.
family don't understand, and if they don't understand, then they will not support the kids doing
Yeah.
volunteerism. So it's also a very important message and a learning key point for family members, parents, to allow the kids to volunteer. Kids are still young, they don't need to make money.
Yeah.
What you are doing and what you need to understand as a parent is that you're actually giving a platform for your kid to prepare him or herself for employment in the next 10 to 5, 6, 7 years, you
That's
understand?
very true.
So family should really
Mm.
stand out there and support kids volunteering.
That's very true. That is so true. Coming now to your occupation,
Yes, yes,
you are now a parliamentary researcher.
yes.
So, can you just maybe share with us like some insights on how research can shape a country's development agenda and how we can as well integrate this research into the parliamentary work?
Okay,
So,
okay, okay. Research, key research is extremely important
mhm.
because now it's only through research
Yeah.
that you will know what the people in, for instance, Omasati need.
Mm,
Only through research that you will know how many people are in the Kavango West region.
mm,
Only through research you will know what are the causes of GBV in our country. So what
mm,
research does is it informs our developmental plans. So when government draws up his or her plans, for instance, certain ministries,
yeah.
Ministry of Gender,
Yeah.
they don't just sit there and throw up the plans out of the blue.
Mm,
But what informs them is that research informs them that these are the root causes of GBV. We need to work on
mm,
A, B, C, D, what, and what.
yeah.
So research is important because it informs the country, it guides the country,
Yeah.
and it also makes the plans and the goals of the country realistic. If you want to
Mm,
spend $5 million,
yeah.
for instance, in the Omusati region,
Yeah.
on what basis are you going to spend the $5 million?
$1 million.
What practical steps are you going to take to ensure that every citizen benefits from that $5 million? So research pinpoints
Mm,
the nitty-gritty that is needed for developmental
yeah.
aspects in our country.
Ah.
And how do I integrate research in
Yeah.
my professional work?
Mm,
What I do is we work on different policies, different motions
mm,
that we need to come up for the members of parliament, and then look around. Okay, does this motion make sense?
mm,
But in this country, something similar was introduced,
mm,
but it never stopped the problem of GBV.
mm,
Okay, can we perhaps probably twist it a little bit so that we make it relevant to Namibia or contextualize it to a Namibian perspective?
mm,
So research informs my work in terms of I need to come up with practical and very clear
mm,
directives in terms of how I need to write my papers for the members of parliament that I work with. Also research nationally. I need to look around, especially on social media
yeah.
and credible media such as newspapers, TV and radio stations. What are the challenges that Namibians face on a daily basis? If there's a water crisis in
Mm,
the GAM area, I need to pick it up as a researcher
mm.
and bring it forth to the members of parliament so that it can be asked in parliament, and hopefully the
Oh,
responsible minister will address that issue as fast as possible.
okay.
If there's an issue happening in Osingar,
Mm.
if there's an issue happening in Rewa, I need to pick it up as a researcher and bring it to the members of parliament. That is very,
Ah,
very key. So that is my eyes. I'm basically
yeah.
the eyes and the ears of the members of parliament,
Okay.
specifically the PDM members
The
of
bit.
parliament. Yes,
Oh, so it depends on what political party you are working with.
exactly. And
Okay.
mainly,
Mm.
researchers are mainly important for the opposition side.
Oh.
Because the opposition side in parliament, they are the ones that hold the government accountable. They are the ones
Mm.
that criticize and question the government. Because the government, the ruling party, they cannot question themselves, obviously.
Oh,
You
yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So the opposition plays a very key role in checks and balances of our democracy
Mm.
and holding government to account, making sure that our national resources and also our finances are spent for the benefit of every Namibian.
Okay, that's
So
quite.
that is my
Yeah.
research and my work in a nutshell.
That's actually very interesting.
Yeah.
So like the parliamentary the MPs, they don't
Yes.
just bring forward a motion without being like on their own.
They can do it,
Mm.
but it's my job to verify, do background checks, and see, okay,
Oh.
does it make sense? Oh, okay. No, practically it doesn't make sense
Mm.
because now if you only want to empower the girl child, what about
Mm.
the boy child? You understand? So the MPs can also bring their inputs and also give it to me, so we verify,
Yeah.
we strengthen it, with stats, etc. Then we take it up into the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's quite interesting. And I didn't know that. I thought, you just do your own research as a MP or something like that, and then you just do
No,
your
we work for the
yeah,
MPs. We work for the PM MPs. Yes.
yeah, and it's actually good that okay, so like what advice would you have like for young people that are interested in taking the same career path that you took, especially maybe that are those that are interested in
Mm,
advocacy and activism
mm.
or maybe in just civil society work?
Sometimes the most important thing is that you need to understand that you will not find something you love immediately. You have to try a bunch of several things, and then maybe only then you'll discover, no, this is what I really actually wanted to do.
Mm.
But also bringing it back, the key point is start volunteering and start gaining skills. And while you're volunteering, make sure that you network also. Because you cannot just volunteer and after volunteering, you walk away with no
Mm.
contacts, no networks. You need to refer back to individuals, refer back to organizations
Yeah.
that have similar objectives or similar goals or that work on similar projects
Mm.
that you are passionate about.
Yeah.
Contact them after volunteering and see how you can then assist, in bringing those agendas of
Yeah.
those individuals or organizations to the forefront.
Mm.
But the most important thing is with me, I initially thought, I love radio. I
Oh,
still do.
okay.
I still do.
Yeah.
But then later on,
Mm.
attending the CASTE program
Yeah.
and various training opportunities by the Conrad Academy stuff thing, I
Yeah.
realized that no, man, I actually have a thing for, civic education, governance issues,
Oh.
politics, and, the whole thing about national
Yeah.
discourse. So I'm really in love with, what I do now.
Okay.
But I also love, so I am basically cheating on
And
my love for radio with my love for research work
yeah.
in governance and
Mm.
politics. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so the key point is, try and figure out what you really want to do as a young person. Sometimes as a young person, there's so many limited opportunities for
yeah.
young people and I know young people are frustrated. I know
Yeah,
our
we
parents are
are.
frustrated.
Yeah.
If you tell your parent now, I can volunteer.
Mm.
Hulle sal nie verstaan nie. They will not
Yeah.
understand that you're going to volunteer because at the end of the day, you need some sort of income,
Yeah.
for your household. You're a grown man. You cannot just volunteer. But just try and do your level best. Volunteer, build networks, and see how you can then. Because people will actually see and notice you.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, Hiskia is doing ABCD. And I spoke of networking,
Mm.
earlier on.
Yeah.
Hiskia is doing ABCD. Then people can actually contact you and provide you a temporary
Yeah.
employment opportunity or even a permanent opportunity. So you never know where your passion may lie. But the key thing for young activists and young people that are passionate about advocacy is
Mm.
make sure that you always balance what you do for passion
Mm.
and also what you do for personal gain in terms of getting an
Ah,
income.
that's very true. That is
Mm.
so much true. And that's because I think, when we when we speak of like advocacy or
Yeah,
being involved in civil society organization, because you won't actually know what you love and what
exactly.
you want to do if you don't do anything. So by you actually being involving yourself in something like what you're saying
Yes,
is
yes.
when you will actually notice or when you realize I actually love this one more than the
Yeah,
other thing.
exactly.
Yeah, and
And don't just limit yourself
yeah,
as a young person. Branch out to different opportunities and different platforms that are there.
yeah,
Because the more you branch out, firstly, you get so much knowledge. You get so many skills, you get to build so many networks and
yeah,
contacts. So don't just limit yourself. There are people that just want to be, no, I'm an accounting person,
mm,
accounting graduate, and
yeah,
and right now I'm unemployed. I just want to volunteer, maybe
yeah,
accounting relating stuff, you
yeah.
understand? Don't just limit yourself,
Mm.
No, branch out, branch out.
Exactly, because these things, like most of the things, they actually like kind of interconnect.
Exactly.
Yeah, like in every almost in every sector, you will find an accountant, even in the entertainment, even in
Even in
what,
the
yeah,
NGO,
even
you
in
may
NGOs and
exactly.
all that. So you won't actually know where your passion actually
Mm.
lies unless you try out. And I think one thing about us young people is that we are very, I don't know if we are impatient, not like
Impatient.
impatient,
Yeah.
and we just want to figure out something right now.
Right
And
now, we
yeah,
want
right,
the solution
yeah,
right now.
right now. I want to be like, I want
I
to
want
kind of like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be like, I
right
must know,
now.
yeah, right now, and and
Life
that's
is a journey. Life is a journey, and from a religious perspective,
yeah,
they say God's time is the right
yeah,
time. So whether you think that you deserve that opportunity right now, if
mm,
it's not meant for you, it will not come to you.
that's very
You
true.
understand? So be patient.
Yeah,
And that's what, like you said,
mm,
we don't have patience as
mm,
young people, and I think that's very important. Sometimes, in the workplace as
mm,
well, you feel that you want to be promoted, you feel you deserve that position, but you feel that, but when the way other people perceive and see you,
mm,
they may see you as, no man, he's still not ready yet for that.
mm.
You may think that you're ready,
Yeah,
but he's still, can you maybe just wait? And
yeah,
that's why mentors and
yeah.
guidance are very important when it
That
comes
is
to those issues.
that is so true. Okay, based on your work now, your occupation, being a researcher,
Yeah.
like what are some of the pressing issues that you have discovered that are kind of like, for Namibian youth, that, and how can maybe they be kind of like addressed? Okay.
The biggest one is the high unemployment rate,
Mm,
youth unemployment rate to be specific. The PDM, which is the official opposition,
yeah,
they brought that motion in Parliament. The
yeah.
motion was adopted. So right now, I believe they are busy with doing
Mm.
research and public hearings on unemployment. But then
Oh.
it's up to government to make sure that they implement measures to address the high unemployment rate, in our country. That is the most pressing issue
Mm.
right now,
Yeah.
because you cannot go out there and motivate and inspire the youth on a
Yeah.
hungry tummy,
It's
they are unemployed, they have no opportunities. So right now, the most important pressing issue is the high unemployment
yeah.
rate of the youth.
And that's very true. And I see that PDM is really like on the head,
Pushing the
yeah, pushing
agenda.
pushing that agenda for
Yeah.
real and all that. So yeah, coming now to the main discussion of today,
Okay.
of why we as young people we kind of gravitate from our personal
Yeah.
development more into advocacy and activism and all that. So like, why do you think we as young people we kind of tend to neglect our professional life or our personal relationship or personal development
Mm.
and gravitate more on just being an advocate of activism from your experience?
Because that's what I also I was also in that situation
Nee.
a couple of years when I was a
Eh,
volunteer for
mm,
about 6 7 years
okay.
at that community radio
Mm,
station. So I was just volunteering, and then I was thinking, no man, because when you advocate, right, when you're at the forefront,
yeah.
so many people look up to you,
Mm,
and not just so many people, specifically so many young people look up to you
yeah.
when you are an activist and when you are advocating, for the rights of the marginalized or whatsoever issue
Mm,
it may be. Then people look up to you and they think, oh, this guy is educated.
mm,
What does he bring forth to the table apart from being an activist?
ah,
And then your activism should be informed by your level of education. That's what I believe personally. You understand? Because unfortunately, education plays a very important role in shaping, the way we think,
yeah.
the way we compensate with other people, the way we associate ourselves with other people.
Yeah.
And then I realized, no man, let me enroll, get a degree.
Mm,
So what happens is when you empower yourself as an individual
yeah.
and focus on your personal goals, you're not neglecting, your activism
Mm,
for that matter. What you're doing is you're actually empowering the two. You're leveling
mm,
up the two. So what you do is, or what happens is, when you're educated, you think in a certain way. You start to understand the processes, the institutions that exist in the country, such as
mm,
Namibia,
yeah.
with an education. So now, being an educated individual, you will start doing activism totally different and much more
Mm,
in a better way, in an informed way. You understand? So as much as young people have are passionate about being an activist and advocating for people's
Yeah.
rights, don't neglect your personal goals. Because I always say, at the end of the day, when you go to bed
Yeah.
at night, reflect on what makes you happy the most.
Mm.
And if your personal circumstances are not that good
Mm.
at home, you'll not be happy.
Yeah.
You also, unfortunately, you need to bring some sort of income back home.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our parents, you know how our parents are,
Yeah,
African
exactly.
parents, they need to see an income.
Hmm.
So balance the two so that you also fulfill your personal and family roles in while doing that. You can also do act. You know, activism cannot be. It can be a full-time job or depends where you are located.
Mm.
You understand? You cannot wake up every morning and go protest.
Yeah.
You cannot wake up every morning petition. You cannot wake up every morning. You understand?
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
it cannot be a full-time job. You
Yeah,
understand?
exactly.
It cannot be. So
Yeah.
it's sort of balance it too.
That's actually very true, and I think like I as well like found myself in like in that situation, and
Mhm.
I think I was lucky enough to kind of like have people that will tell you, okay, okay, you are doing this. It's
Mm.
great. It's good to be on the forefront of doing something, but as well you have your life as well to live,
Exactly.
and these people are not going to look up to you for the
Exactly.
rest of their life,
Mm.
or you are going to lose the value at
Exactly.
some point in your life, and all that.
Or maybe, sorry to interrupt you,
Mm.
maybe the issues can change.
Yeah, exactly.
Issues. So the same advocacy, or the same, sorry,
Mm,
the same issue that you were advocating
yeah.
for instance, GBV,
Mm,
what if the situation of GBV improves in that
improves.
certain area or in that country? So now you need to divert to another issue.
To another.
And you need to understand that
Mm,
issue as well. That's why I spoke of education. Makes you think in a certain way
yeah,
and makes you look at an issue in a totally different way.
that's very true.
Yeah.
That is very true. And I think that is actually the trap that we, as many young people, are kind of like falling into
Yeah. Yeah.
recently. Just being an activist, just being an advocate, and you neglecting your professional life or your career goals
Indeed.
or whatever that is that you want to do. And but then I think there as well some, especially in Namibia, we have some examples of young people
Yeah.
that really are on the forefront of being of being the voice to the voiceless,
Yes.
but they are as well very they have their lives together. They
Exactly.
are not neglecting their lives to
Exactly. I
that's
know I can mention
yeah,
so many
please
names.
mention
No,
please. No,
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 you
I don't
can
want people
no,
coming for me.
no, you can like mention people that are like, this person, he's like this person is on the
Yeah,
forefront
yeah.
of this, but this person,
It's
especially like yeah,
educated, yeah.
especially like you can look at Dr. Job
Yeah, yeah.
Ampanda. He's somebody who has been on the forefront of certain issues, being an activism,
Yeah, yeah.
being like activist, but he didn't neglect his
Exactly.
educational goals, and he
Exactly.
didn't neglect his personal
Mm.
relationships and all that. So he still managed to get himself,
You know where he
yeah,
wants to be.
yeah, where he wants to be,
Yeah,
and
very
all.
important.
This-
Yeah, at some point, we also want to start families and
yeah,
those things. And unfortunately, activism doesn't pay.
exactly.
That's the
Mm,
most unfortunate thing.
yeah, that's very true. So, like, what advice would you, give? I think you kind of maybe um include it in your previous
Okay, okay,
in
yeah.
your previous response, but how can like maybe how can we encourage more youth to actually explore avenues like maybe entrepreneurship,
Mm.
career development alongside their advocacy work?
Young people, the
Mm,
most important thing that young people need to realize is that firstly, they need to empower
mm,
themselves. If you are unemployed right now,
mm,
I know of so many public libraries, or yeah, so many public libraries and institutions around the
mm,
country that offer free basic computer training.
mm. Okay.
You are a grade 10
Mm,
dropout, you are not computer literate. The first step towards empowering yourself, go for that course, short course. It's about 6 weeks or a month or two.
mm,
Go for that short course and see how you then empower yourself
yeah.
firstly. And I always tell people this, there is so much focus and so much emphasis on young people in entrepreneurship, and
Mm,
young people should start businesses and etc. But I personally feel that not every single young person can be a businessman or
yeah.
a woman. You all cannot be entrepreneurs, unfortunately.
Exactly.
You understand?
Mm,
So the notion of young people, all young people should be businessmen and businesswomen.
yeah.
I feel it's totally misconstrued.
Mm,
For starters, the hence why so many young people start businesses and then they end up failing.
mm,
Even if you start a business in the informal sector, it be a hair salon or a
mm.
barber shop or whatsoever, at some point you'll fail.
Yeah,
Starting a business doesn't guarantee automatic success. You still need the business skills,
yeah.
the best business people are educated, they have MBAs, you understand.
Mm,
You need some sort of education,
yeah. For
to run
you.
a successful business. I'm not talking about you need to have a master's degree
Yeah,
to
and
run a
all that.
business,
Yeah.
but just even the basics,
Mm,
understand basic business skills, how to run a business,
mm.
now with social media at the
Yeah,
forefront, social media marketing, how to properly structure your business
yeah.
plan. So the most important thing is try and learn a skill for
Mm,
yourself. Get a skill, learn a skill. And also you find people that are naturally gifted, people
mm,
that are talented. Try and discover what you're good at and try and see if you can turn around your talent into something that will then generate income for you.
mm.
Understand? If you know you're naturally funny, you can create, videos on social media
Yeah,
and post them, you understand? People see you, people can get you for shows, book you
yeah.
for shows. If you think that you're good in the kitchen, cook your junkies and sell them
Mm.
somewhere there, where a school is located,
That's
just
it.
try and do something.
Yeah.
So the key point for young people right now, I know they're frustrated, I know ABCD,
Mm.
but just try and do something right now.
No, yeah.
Try and do something right now for yourself.
That's very true. That is so much true. And I think that's one thing that we kind of fail building or learning a skill for
Yeah,
ourselves. We're
yeah.
just there. And I think this is actually like one of the major, because you have, especially like so many young people that
Mm,
are graduates,
mm.
but then they don't know any practical skill.
Goodness, my dear. yo,
So,
yo.
so it's
Not to throw
Mm,
a
yeah,
shade or
yeah,
something, but you'll find graduates. You'll find graduates. Unfortunately, that's a sad situation
yeah.
because you graduating doesn't mean that you will be employed instantly and
Mm,
automatically. No, you must be employable.
yeah.
Employable in the sense of you need to have certain skills and qualities that a potential employer will use,
Mm,
you know, from you.
yeah.
So you'll find graduates that cannot even properly speak,
Mm,
they cannot even properly address themselves or introduce themselves. Graduates that cannot even properly use a computer
yeah,
to type a letter, to make
exactly.
a PowerPoint
Mhm.
presentation. That's a sad
And
reality.
yeah, it's a sad reality, like, and it's something that like it's a reality. We are living
Yeah.
it, and it's there. Just
So that's why I said, and
mm,
while you are studying on weekends, you can do something
yeah,
that will earn you that skill or two. Volunteering and internship. Internship people only do it because it's a module that needs to be
mm,
completed at university. But I feel that graduates or students are not eager enough, to obtain the
to obtain,
skills
yeah,
where they are employed as interns. You understand?
exactly.
So the desire should come from yourself as an individual. I mean, if you want to learn
Mm-hmm.
something, man, you can do it.
Yeah, and
You
you will
can
get
do
up
it.
the opportunity. That opportunity will come your way.
Exactly.
That's very true.
Exactly.
That opportunity will come your way because, like, as you are studying something, you obviously have career goals,
Yeah.
and we must not just. I think one perspective that we have that it's just instilled in our minds, even from child, is like obviously after graduation,
Yeah.
you get a job in government,
Yeah.
and then immediately, and then everything is sorted.
Yeah. Everything is sorted. I wish I knew when I was young. I wish I knew what life had in store for us. No,
Yeah,
it's not easy. Even in your workplace,
yeah,
you need to constantly push. You, you need to perform 200%. Perform, better and better and better
but,
and better and better in your next task. Make sure you perform
yeah,
better. And it's not over right now. Even as professionals, they attend, professional development
yeah.
courses, leadership management courses. It's a lifelong learning
Learning
process.
exactly.
So it's not easy. We all are working on ourselves. We all should be working on ourselves
Yeah,
because we should never get comfortable with where we are. We always need to strive for the betterment of ourselves,
yeah.
firstly, and then that of our family members, and then for everyone.
That's very true. That's very true. And I think it was last year I had one of he's an advocate as well,
Yeah.
but in the civil society space
Yeah.
on the podcast as well. And he was like, okay, as young people, sometimes you're even at your work, you have been working in that company for even 5 years,
5 years.
and then you are demanding salary,
Promotions
yeah,
and salary
promotion.
increments
But what have you done for yourself? Have
in
you
that 5 years.
improved? Yeah, in
Yeah,
that 5 years,
exactly.
have you studied any course? Have
Yeah.
you gotten a driver's license?
You know?
On what basis are you going
Exactly.
to ask salary increment and all that?
Exactly.
And
So
then,
you being there, or you being lawyer doesn't guarantee an
yeah,
automatic, promotion or
promotion.
salary increment. So people should see, your employer should see, oh, his case is really a valuable asset.
Mm,
Probably let's give him a salary increment
yeah.
and see, okay, he's worthy of that.
That's actually very true. So, like, okay, you spoke as well of mentorship and guidance, which have
Mm.
been the core value or
Yeah,
the core, of where you are today as
yeah,
well,
yeah,
the drive of where you are today. So, what do you like? How can mentorship and guidance from your experience as an
yeah.
individual, like yourself, help young activists or active advocates
Mm.
or people that are actually in the civil society space to, to navigate,
Yeah.
their journey toward a holistic development.
Yeah, yeah. Mentors are very important because they importantly firstly guide you.
Yeah.
They guide you. You can have mentors in different aspects of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a spiritual mentor, professional,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, personal level, those
Yeah.
things. But mentors are important because they guide you. They sort of give you a template, more or less the same of what they went through.
Mm-hmm.
They share their experiences with you. Experiences, not just success
Mm-hmm.
stories, but also failures,
Yeah.
so that you can learn from what they did wrong
Mm-hmm.
and so that you can avoid those mistakes that may arise.
Yeah.
So they give you a template in terms of how you need to navigate your professional journey
Yeah.
or how you then navigate your spiritual journey, whatsoever journey
Yeah.
you may be on. Guidance. So they guide you in such a way that that will make the journey a little bit easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I always say? You know, at some point in your life,
Mm-hmm.
you will experience a problem one day or the other. There will be obstacles.
Yeah.
That's the only way you will learn. Whether you have the most perfect mentor,
Mm-hmm.
life will throw its challenges at you. And the challenges are meant to see, okay, whether you can withstand, the pressure, and see whether you can actually learn from that.
Yeah.
From a religious perspective, I
Mm-hmm.
always say that, it's only in heaven where you will not have any problem. But as long as you're alive and breathing, and
Mm-hmm.
as long as you're walking your 2 feet, at some point you will experience a problem or two. You will. You
That's
will.
very
You can be
true.
the richest individual,
Yeah.
but you will experience problems at some point.
That's actually very true. And that's something actually that really scares me.
Yeah,
You
and
know, I don't know if the
you know,
problems that I have experienced they were the bigger enough or
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
bigger problem is still coming.
that's the thing, but I'm ready, man. I face a problem
Yeah.
head on and see, is it that time again? Oh, sometimes you're just so tired,
Yeah.
for this life thing, but but you need to push, we need to push. Yeah, that was a nice one.
Like, that's actually true. Like, it scares me for
Yeah,
real. It scares me. I'm like, okay, I'm growing and we are doing this thing.
yeah,
Apparently, life. What challenge are there that are waiting for me?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the biggest, I'm like, okay, let's just go.
Yeah, let's go, let's
Yeah,
go.
let's go with life. Okay. So what are like, okay, coming to conclusion, obviously.
Mm,
So what are your future aspirations?
mm.
Goals that you have, that you would like to share. Just to inspire other people as well. Mm,
My biggest thing is I just want to make an impact,
mm,
on people's lives,
mm,
whether through my involvement with
yeah.
youth projects or with my involvement with civil society
Organization.
organizations. I
Mm,
think that's where I really want to make an impact. The other day I was reading
mm,
something, and then I learned that sometimes we do things in
mm,
our everyday life,
yeah.
whether we intend to do it or not, without realizing the impact it has on the lives of other people.
Mm,
You understand?
mm,
The next person is walking by,
yeah.
the person is greeting you, good morning, sir, and you don't respond because
Yeah.
you felt like you woke up from the wrong side of the bed. But
Mm,
when you hear after a few hours you heard that person committed suicide, you understand? Or that person was bumped by a car, or that person fell ill.
Yeah.
So, without understanding the things that we do intentionally or not, it has an impact on the lives of other people. And that's what I want to be remembered for. One day,
Yeah.
when I sit down and look back, I just want to see the impact that I've created. Impact in different ways. My future goals, obviously, professionally,
Yeah.
upgrade myself, studies, obtaining my master's,
Yeah.
hopefully a PhD, and also um, just having a job that
Yeah.
really makes a difference, in the lives of our people. Like the job I have now, it is very important because it affects, the everyday life of Namibians.
Yeah.
If I overlook, or if we, the MPs or the researchers, overlook a certain issue that people in Namibia face, it will not be addressed in Parliament, and the responsible ministry will not be able to address the situation at that time.
Yeah.
So I feel I just want impact, I just
Yeah.
want to see
Yeah.
impact, that is my biggest thing.
That's actually good because it's really good to live where, like, when you are living and you have people that you're
Yeah.
like looking at those people, like, yeah, I actually did something for
Yeah,
this person.
yeah.
Or people can come back like, yeah, Hiskia did this for me, or
Exactly.
Hiskia taught me this, or Hiskia once did
Yeah.
for our community this,
Community.
and all that. So it's
You know, um, since I was grade 8, I
mm,
also took part in debating at
ah,
schools. I was debating at the national level.
mm,
At some point, I was even selected in the national team.
okay,
So after completing grade 12, I've been coaching the Mosati region, I think, for 3 4 years, the national debate team.
oh,
Then I went to Hardtap. So I've been coaching Hardtap region since 2014, the
okay,
debating club and societies in schools.
yeah,
I train the teachers, I coach them. Of course, this is volunteer work.
yeah,
This volunteer work that I do because I'm also passionate about debating. And just yesterday, I got a letter from the former senior education officer in the Hartap region,
mm,
Ms. Enda,
mm.
where she just expressed, a you see, why am I passionate about it? Her
Yeah,
gratitude,
yeah, yeah.
towards what I've done, for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
for the region in terms of debating and making
Mhm.
sure that learners understand what debating is and take part in debating. So those are the things that I want to leave behind,
Yeah.
making an impact in people's lives, I'm sure the kids will remember me. They always call me coach, when they see me around.
Yeah.
Coach, coach,
Coach,
coach,
coach.
you
Yeah.
understand? So I'm also a debate coach, volunteer basis, and I absolutely love, doing that.
And that's the life that's the life to actually live for, a
Yeah,
life of making an impact.
impact.
It's really, and those are the things that actually keep us going when people come back and say, I actually thank you for
Yeah,
what you did,
yeah, you
or thank
understand?
you for, like, when you receive those calls, you
Yeah,
receive those letters. That
exactly.
was keeps you, like, yeah,
Going.
going.
Keeps you going.
Mm,
When you do community work and when you work in civil society organizations and when
mm,
we volunteer in youth projects, we are not doing it, so that people can thank us and praise us. We are
yeah,
doing it because we really want to do it and because we love it. You
yeah,
understand? But when people express, their gratitude
yeah,
and how they are appreciative towards what
yeah.
we are doing,
Mm,
then we feel a little bit, valued.
mm,
And then we keep on pushing and we keep on giving it our best.
yeah.
So that is why I feel, sometimes people need to say thank you.
Yeah,
Very important.
that's very true. That is so much true. So thank you so much, Hiskia, for
Yeah,
your
thank you so
time.
much.
And for, I know this episode is
Yeah,
long overdue.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have been
Yes,
postponing
because
literally since last year. Since last
yeah,
year,
since last year, that is, and we finally did it.
we
So
finally did
thank you
it.
so much. So how can people actually, like, reach out to you?
Uh, LinkedIn, I'm
Mm,
Hiskia Nashuuta.
yeah.
Uh, Send me a DM.
Mm.
Social media, Facebook, Hiskia Nashuuta. On
Hafini.
IG, my name is Afeni also. You keep
Okay.
on learning things,
I'll keep on
Because,
finding out new things
yeah,
about
new
you. Okay.
things, yeah.
Mm.
My name is Hiskia Hafeni Nashuuta.
Ah, you're a
Yes.
real babu, hey?
I'm a real babu. I'm a Balanto, my girl. I'm a Balanto,
Oh, I
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Mm,
So on IG, I'm Hiskia underscore Nashuuta. Send me an email also. Small letters, Hosia
mm.
dot Nashuuta at gmail.com.
Okay. So, like, when people, like, can like, individual reach out to you as well. I have maybe this pressing issue in my community, and I want to bring
Exactly.
it forward to you,
Exactly.
for
Exactly.
you to do research or to bring it forward. Can people reach out to you
Yeah,
for
they
that?
can. They can definitely reach out
Mm.
on that, and also especially if there are people interested in starting
Yeah,
NGOs
yeah,
or civil society organizations. They really don't know how to write a proposal.
yeah.
I do that for civil society organizations. Because the CSOs are very important because they address the issues that people at grassroots
Mm.
levels face and solve. The soup kitchens that are there.
Yeah.
The tutoring classes that are there that are offered absolutely for free. Unfortunately, people run out of resources.
Mm.
CSOs run out of resources.
Yeah,
And the business communities out there, the individuals with the monies out there,
yeah.
they need to assist CSOs wherever they can. And to the donors also,
Mm.
in Germany, all over the world,
Yeah.
Namibia has so many issues, and I think civil society organizations are doing a good job
Mm.
in addressing the issues that people face. But unfortunately, they do not have all the resources.
Yeah.
And if they don't have all the resources, they get limited in terms of carrying out their role in the different areas.
Very
So urging all people out
true.
there, assist CSOs out there, young people out there, go volunteer, and let's see how we can make our communities better places.
That's very true. That's so much true. So thank you so much,
Thank
Hiskia.
you so much.
Is
I
there
love
any?
your platform.
Thank you so
Love
much.
your platform. You are giving people a platform where
Yeah.
they can share the stories and inspire other people.
Yeah.
I like that about you. And you've come such a long way. You've grown.
Yeah.
Your interview skills are there.
Yeah.
And I just like your platform. So thank you so much
Okay. Thank you
for
so much.
having a sit down with me and
Yeah.
all the best.
Thank you so much. And it's actually good. I think that like the very first time when we met in his at that at Custom.
Custard, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Roswitha actually always mentioned this, like, Elizabeth, like the very first
Yeah,
time
yeah.
when we met you,
Yeah.
it's just this girl, like, from the village or
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah,
like that,
yeah.
without not much and all that. But it's good
Yeah.
when you see kind of like growth
No,
and
you've
you just,
grown.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really. So thank you so much. So thank you so much
Yes, yes,
for
yes.
all that you do for the community and all that. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you
You
too.
are an inspiration.
Are you
Yeah, yeah, you
serious?
are an inspiration. Actually,
Wow.
you are.
Wow.
So, and I love that about you. So, yeah, thank you so much. Anything else that you like that maybe left out that you want to before we close?
Um, People should also support your platform.
Mm.
The communities are the business communities,
Yeah.
NGOs. They need to support. I mean, you're young, you're
Mm.
vibrant. You do the most in terms of giving young people a platform to
Yeah.
share the stories through your podcast.
Yeah.
So NGOs out there, people out there, support platform financially, be it materially, just support
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And yeah, thank you so much. Guys, you heard from Hiskia. Come and support the platform.
Yeah,
Come and
yeah.
support the platform. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much everyone for watching up until the end of this episode. And if you really found this episode educational and informative as much as I did, don't forget to like, to subscribe to the channel as well, and you can leave your comments or anything if you want to, or any question that you have, actually just in the comment section. And see you in the another episode. And don't forget to actually also look at follow his on his social media, which he mentioned previously and all this. So thank you so much, and see you in the next episode. Bye.